Hello and welcome to Some of the Answers with Jen and Jamie. This is the official podcast of Third Eye Family Solutions, where we help you find a new perspective that will empower you to live a life of your dreams. Each week, we explore topics that are designed to help you face the challenges that come with life. We don't have all of the answers, but we do have some of them. So join us as we share our thoughts, ideas, and advice to bring your ideal self into focus. Hello and welcome. We are going to call this episode 1 of season 3. Why? Because that's what I decided to call it. After taking quite the break, our last podcast was published at the beginning of the summer. I got the calling to get back on here and start talking again. So here you are. I have a few, that's a good start, right? I have a few things planned for this season. So we're going to call this season from now until I don't know, maybe spring, maybe January, maybe December, who knows? We'll see, right? We'll get 8 to 10 sessions in here. And I have a few things I'm really excited about. I have a couple people I plan to interview. We had a new clinician start with us here at Third Eye Family Solutions. And so she's one of those people that I'm hoping to put on camera with me. And you can all get to meet her and know her. She's really wonderful. And a couple other folks as well. So, but today I really wanted to talk about something that, as often happens, just keeps coming up over and over and over in sessions with clients. And that is the world of social media. I'm a big fan of social media. Social media is wonderful, right? It can keep us connected. It's great for marketing. When we were first starting the practice, honestly, a lot of our clients found us through Facebook ads. We don't do that anymore with our full schedules these days, but for a while it was really helpful. Social media is a great place when you have extra stuff around the house and want to sell it, and you pop it on Facebook Marketplace, or you pop it on, here in Utah we use KSL.com, right? Like our news station's classified ads. So there's great uses for social media. My 9-year-old, we do each summer, we make a list of all the adventures we want to go on, and throughout the summer we do that. We did, I can't even remember, I think we were close to 40 adventures this summer. A really, really great summer. And it keeps our family in the loop with what we're doing, and they get to see great pictures of him growing and developing. It's also a log for our homeschooling that we do. So again, lots of great uses for social media, right? Here's the thing. It has been researched, and over and over again, the same thing keeps coming up, which is social media increases depression, it increases anxiety, and it generally makes people feel not that great about themselves. And this is especially true with kids and teenagers. I've had a number of teenagers and young adults that I work with later who have repeated the same general sentence, which is, I just look at everyone else's lives and what they're doing, and I feel like I'm not keeping up, or I'm not having as much fun as they are, or they're doing all the things I thought I would be doing, but I'm not doing them, so therefore they have better lives than I do. And I also talk to adults who have the same kind of experience, right? So we're talking undeveloped brains, or, developing brains versus fully developed brains. And it's the same conversation. Moms who are saying, oh, I wish I could do, they look at my adventures with my son. I should really be doing things like that. I should be doing things like that with my daughter. Or you have, the perfect Pinterest ready lunch that gets made by the mom in the little bento box with the star-shaped sandwich and the, whatever it is. And they go, oh gosh, I'm failing. Clearly everyone else, and it's always everyone else, is doing a better job at this life thing than I am. And it doesn't matter what you're measuring that by, right? Somebody's posting about their weight loss and you go, oh, I'm not losing weight like that. I really should be. There's, I don't have the stamina to do the exercise that person is doing, and therefore they're doing life better than I am. I could go on and on with the examples, but I think that point is made, right? We're measuring ourselves and our lives by what we're seeing on social media in other people's lives. And the reality is, if you had a camera and you watched, there was a movie about this, I just remembered, I can't remember what it was called. But if you just had a camera on a person and just followed them around for a typical, let's say a week, right? A typical week in a person's life that to you, because of what you've seen on social media, you think, well, that person has a perfect life. If you actually followed them around and filmed them 24/7 and then assessed how their life was, you'd probably think to yourself, oh, their life looks a lot like mine. Or you'd think, wow, that's quite the life they're living over there. I'm glad I don't have those challenges and those struggles that they're dealing with. Mostly what we put on social media is the pretty stuff, right? I walk almost every day. A few days ago, I had taken over the course of 4 or 5 walks some really beautiful flower pictures. I just kept stopping and literally smelling flowers and taking some pictures of them. And I, posted some of those flowers, and they're beautiful. They're wonderful pictures of flowers, right? I'm not like dissing myself for putting flower pictures on Instagram. But those flowers are literally instances of my walks. It's not like the rest of my walks are some miserable, horrible experience, right? I enjoy my walks. But also, it's not the cracks in the sidewalk. It's not the person who honked at me because they thought I wasn't crossing the street fast enough. It's not the bee that almost stung me. And by the way, I'm allergic. It would have been a really bad, bad moment for me had that happened, right? The flowers are the pretty part, right? The picture of my husband and I dressed up for the fancy date we went on last Friday up at the Natural History Museum. That's the pretty part. And again, it's not like, well, we have this awful marriage, but we had this one night where we dressed up pretty. No, we have a really great marriage, but we also just really went through almost 3 weeks of a really rough time together. And it's all fine. We worked it all out. We're in good shape and everything else. But, I wasn't posting those moments because that's not what we do with social media. Now, there is a flip side, right? So, like when I had my heart surgery, I put that on social media, first of all, to let people know. Second of all, because I was seeking support. And third of all, because that's like a big thing. And we do post the big things that aren't pretty, but we don't post the day-to-day unprettiness. We don't post the just change the 17th diaper of the day, lovely afternoon, hope you're doing as great as I am. We don't do that, right? We don't post the I just spilled mac and cheese all over the kitchen. This is going to be a pain in the butt to clean it up. We don't post the, toddler just had the fourth meltdown of the afternoon. I can't even hardly keep my head around. We don't do that. And I say we, I know there's a few people who do. Mostly we don't. Mostly we post the pretty stuff and we post the really big, not pretty stuff, the really hard stuff, right? We let people know, hey, I'm getting a divorce, or we let people know, ugh, I just lost my job, not sure what I'm going to do. But the day to day, what it looks like is that we all have perfect little lives, and we don't. We just don't. And as adults with developed brains, we can, when we remember to do so, step back and go, oh, it looks like Susie and Bob have a perfect marriage and a perfect life and a perfect family, but I also know that they probably have some struggles just like I do. With our teenagers, it's a different situation. Unless you are there, someone is there with the teenagers saying, hey, I know it looks like your friends are doing nothing but having fun this year, but they have their own struggles and their own challenges. And, yeah, the makeup's perfect in the picture, but how many times did it take to get it that way? It didn't instantly happen. All of those things, they need the adults in their lives to continually remind them that picture of perfection is not real. And frankly, so do we as adults. It's just that we do have the capacity to back up and remind ourselves of that when needed too. So, this is going to be a really short episode because there's not a whole lot more to say about that except stop comparing your life to the images you see on social media. Stop comparing your progress to the progress of others. Stop comparing what looks like a perfect life over there to the ordinariness of your own life. Stop comparing the overcoming of struggles, which do get posted and talked about, with your position in the middle of a struggle that you have not yet overcome. Comparison is the thing that's really killing us all. It's bringing us down. It is increasing depression. It is increasing anxiety. And really, one of the most healthy things that you can do for yourself is to limit your social media time take a break from social media from time to time. If you have to use it for work or for your business, do that and then get off. Set yourself a timer. Go, okay, I'm going to get up and I'm going to do my thing, and then I'm going to look at my social media for 15 minutes, and then I'm done. And then leave it alone. Leave it alone for the rest of the day. And look, I need to follow my own advice with some of this, right? I have my times where, especially when something big goes on in the news, I will do my doom scrolling. I remember one night, I think it was right after the Roe v. Wade issue, it was about a month ago or so, where my husband said, I will trade you a glass of wine for your phone if you'll give it to me. And really, I was so grateful. I didn't end up taking the glass of wine, but I did put my phone down because I realized I was doing exactly that. I was doing exactly what I'm warning against. I was doom scrolling. I wanted to see every article. I wanted to hear the people who were, upset, and I wanted to be upset with them. And while there's benefit to that, there's benefit to knowing there is a community of people, and it's, honestly, in this point, it's a majority of the population of this country who are not okay with how that went. And I needed to feel that belonging in that community, but I also didn't need to do that for hours and hours and hours. And that's where it was becoming, I just exaggerated. Okay, it wasn't hours and hours and hours, but it was a long time. And I really appreciated that he pointed it out in that moment. So set your limits, talk to your teenagers, really talk to your teenagers, and just check in with them from time to time, right? And hear what they're saying. What are they feeling as they're exploring social media, as they're seeing all these images over and over and over again? And remind them what's real. Remind them what real life looks like. And remind them that that friend that they think has the perfect life has struggles just like they do. All right, so I'm looking forward to a big season. We're going to be making a couple changes. I have some new music. You're not going to hear it this week. Obviously, if you've heard the podcast before, you already know that. But we have some new music coming, have some guests coming in to talk about things, and I'm really excited, and I hope you are as well. Talk to you soon.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Some of the Answers. To learn more about Jen, Jamie, or Third Eye Family Solutions, log on to thirdeyefamilysolutions.com. That's third, THIRDIEYE, familysolutions.com. Some of the Answers podcasts can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, and Podbean. This podcast is the property of Third Eye Family Solutions, copyright 2020, and the music is owned fully by Gabe Schwartz. Join us next time for Some of the Answers.